there's a surplus of both ideas and talent. This is my thesis for today's video. The context, the thing that made me think about this topic was this example, so I'll play it. I'm begging someone to edit sonic rings coming out of this body. Please. Ask and you shall receive. This, right? And my first thought was like, why don't you edit it yourself, right? But then I was like, actually, it's like no one's mad about this, right? No one's like, you should do it yourself, right? It's like tens and thousands, well, not sure how many people, but a lot of people have tried to do it, right? And have done it. This guy also did it, right? So it's like this guy airing out his ideas was positive, right, for the world. And these people wouldn't have made it if he hadn't aired out his ideas, right? They made it in response to him. So I was like, actually, this is pretty nice, right? And that made me think in like abundant terms, right? It's like there is a surplus of both ideas and talent. It's like no one's mad, right? That whole thing reminded me of being an ideas guy, right? This making speaking your ideas out loud in order for someone else to do the thing, right? And Visa, I think, talks about both these things, right? He mentions the tema ideas guy. Sometimes he has come out as an ideas guy, for example, in this video, in this tweet, sorry. And I think it's interesting when he talks about these things, right? He also uses Rick Rubin himself as an example for things, right? For example, this is the sort of thing people pay Rick Rubin the big bucks for example. In this case, Michelle, she helped do this, take this cover from this to this, arguably, and in my opinion also, correctly, better design, right? By bringing the ideas, right? She didn't do the mock-up herself, but, well, she essentially, basically, gifted her the idea, right? And this is kind of what I think of when I think of ideas people, right? And yeah, in general, like this particular example is video editing, right? This is some guy who needs video editing services, you could say. It's like you can put it in that frame, right? There is this guy who needs or wants video editing services, and it's like there is such a surplus of this that he can just air it out and people will do it, right? So I'm thinking of like which things are like this, because not everything is like this, right? If you ask for like software engineering or whatever, it's like people are getting paid 500,000 euros for this, right? It's like, or like for big projects, for engineering inside a big company. But for a 20-second clip, it's like people will do it for free if enough people see it, right? It's like there is such a surplus of, you could say, free labor in this case, right? Because people do pay for video editing work sometimes, etc. So you could see it in that frame. And I was thinking, okay, so where else could you see like this kind of surplus, right? For example, if you ask for someone to make you a beat, it's like, if I have these fire bars, could someone make me a beat for it? It's like, would that happen so fast? Does it work because people get the clout, right? This guy who retweeted it got a lot of engagement on it, right? That certainly helps, even if it's fake. And yeah, the reason I was showing this tweet is because this made me think that, actually, like this Rick Rubin framework this made me think about like the comparison between the present and the future, right? The present right now is like these video editing things, these small examples, also photo editing things, right? If you post something like, can someone remove this person from the background, right? People will do it. Some people will do the meme things, right? And like the really viral posts like this are like meme, right? They are like, for example, someone would remove him and put like a grandma with a shirt covering her or something like this, right? Or they would put him in the foreground, these kind of things. But right now it's like we're at a certain point where people will just do it, right? And my tie-in with like the future is like with AI and these things is like, not only can AI do these visual things, for example, but AI can also start doing also different things like coding, right? It's like you can kind of already almost ask AI to do an app, and with not a lot of skill, you can get it to work, right? So it's kind of like the future has even more of this surplus of ideas and talent. Tying it back to Rick Rubin, for example.
Do you play instruments?
Barely.
Do you know how to work a soundboard?
No. I have no technical ability, and I know nothing about music.
You must know something.
Well, I know what I like and what I don't like, and I'm decisive about what I like and what I don't like.
So what are you being paid for?
The confidence that I have in my taste and my ability to express what I feel has proven helpful for artists.
Interesting, right? This, I think, people were mad as fuck about this tweet, right? I noticed a people, personal issue with witnessing people arting the Rick Rubin video. So this video, right? People were quote retweeting or talking about it mad, right? They were like disagreeing for some reason, right? And Visa wanted to defend, like he had this impulse about defending him or whatever, right? And it's like, I guess I can get why people are mad about it, right? For example, this tweet, right? Coming out as a Rick Rubin disrespecter, no creative platitude shall be tolerated. Go get your hand dirty. This account does not support wannabe armchair drivers and tastemakers. And yeah, I think this ties decently into like how there is this surplus of ideas and talent, but at the same time, it's not like there is widely the surplus, right, available, but the way you direct it is it's difficult to direct. Right? It's like not literally everyone can go and say, get my video with sonic rings, right, and get the video with sonic rings edited. It's like there needs to be some kind of community behind it, or you have to have a certain amount of followers so that people see it, right? There has to be attention on you, or like in this, or as Visa says here, right? The way to do it is to be a source of creative ideas and perspectives to your social environment, such that you become the go-to guy who gives level up feedback, right? So in my case, I was talking more about this surplus of ideas and talent, like in general, right? How there's in general there is this surplus of both ideas and like both talent. So things like this can spontaneously happen, and this is, I guess, more tying it into how, if you want to become the ideas guy as a person who makes a living that way or something like this, right? How to become that, right? I think in my frame of reference, it's more like it doesn't matter whether you become the ideas guy or not, whether you take that identity on for yourself or not. It's like the principle behind it, aka the airing out ideas in this environment where there is like a surplus of both ideas and talent is nice, right? It's a thing that can have good consequences, even though maybe when the surplus is like in both sides, maybe it doesn't result in like great beneficial gains for you personally or whatever, right? But yeah, it's probably nice and decent to do it. So yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about today. I have read The Creative Way by Rick Rubin, and I talk about it here, or show at least the book here. What do I want to do that can be considered art? So feel free to watch that video if you're interested in my personal perspective on this. This was more talking generally, but yeah, here you can know my personal perspective or whatever, or like introspecting about it. And yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye.